Hello, my name's Joey and welcome to my tour of props and artifacts. Now today I want to talk to you about my custom lightsabers made from original Graflex flash holders. You've probably heard this story before, but I used to work for a prop hire company called All Props, and back in 2007 a company next door called David French Photographic Hire, they moved premises, they threw a lot of bits out. So obviously from the skip I found lots of Graflex parts. Of course I could make my own lightsabers and I was as happy as a sandboy. And basically when I was first given a Graflex holder, this one here, which I later turned into a lightsaber, I was told by the person there that the David French Photographic Hire Company were the company that supplied them to Star Wars back in '77. I took that with a pinch of salt, and basically a few years later another production buyer said to me the same tale. There was a bit of weight behind it then, and then again somebody else told me, and I started to believe. So who knows, maybe these are, they were the original suppliers. So I'm going to start up with the first one that I built in 2007, and I call this the Dark Saber. Now I had the idea of the Dark Saber way before obviously Star Wars Rebels, so I'm not going to say I own any copyright to that, obviously, and it's more than likely that more than 100 people think of the same thing, but this was always called the Dark Saber way before Star Wars Rebels. So basically this was such a weird Graflex holder. It was so unsymmetrical that I had to keep the design. So what was going on here, there used to be a big metal section here which would screw into the camera. So this was very, very unsymmetrical, so I had to keep that. So of course what we've got here is we've got the activation button here. We've got some outside power sources. So all this little bit of power source here, in my mind, this is a very illegal machine part. Basically what happens is you flick that switch, and every time this saber hits another saber, it will drain the energy from that blade. Eventually, the other person's blade will be non-existent. So this is definitely, this definitely doesn't belong to a nice person. I mean, look at the end of that. I can imagine sometimes the person who used this would sometimes obviously use the saber, but sometimes literally just use it as a mace. And we've got a little secret button there which will lock the saber again. Got a belt loop there, and he's definitely some kind of alien because we've got these strange alien markings there. So that's the Dark Saber. This was the very first saber I got given, and you may recognize it in The Empire Strikes Back. This is the same Graflex holder that ends up in the end of Boba Fett's gun. We even see this area here. I think we see that area. Not sure about that, but I know we see this area. Do you know what? I think we do see that area. Anyway, this is another original Graflex holder, bulb holder. So we've got the on button there, nice big pad there. Maybe we've got a secret button here again. This is to lock the saber, stop anybody else from using it. This one's actually quite comfortable. It's got a quite a nice grip. Quite a nice on and off button there. And of course we've got our belt loop holder there. This one's pretty heavy. This I made in 2007 again. And this one actually powers on, I think, in my mind, by this. There we go. So there we go. And we've of course we've got a blade adjustment dial there. Some kind of air vent there, and this was actually another piece of God knows what, which just by coincidence, that's what's great when you're making props, just by coincidence sometimes parts fit together perfectly, and literally all I had to do was just wedge that end on, and it gives a lovely amount of weight to this lightsaber. Got this one here now. In The Empire Strikes Back, a lot of the lightsaber props had microchip slided into these areas here. So I just went one step further and just decided to show a little bit more of the microchip. So this is quite a simple lightsaber here. I love having leather handles on these. It gives them a kind of a medieval feel. You kind of pick it up and it's comfortable straight away. Much better, I feel, than these plastic strips, which is what the original props had. Basically, I only went for 4 running around this. It makes it a lot more comfortable again, a lot more bearable. And then, of course, on here, we've got our blade adjust there. And as always, we have a belt loop ring. Now, the very last lightsaber I was extremely excited to find, because basically, when you'll see it, it's exactly the same as Luke's lightsaber. I was so pleased when I found in the skip this area here. It was completely hollow. So, of course, I've added everything to this one again. So, once again, playing with the microchip idea. This is a 1950s circuit board, so I went a little bit backwards there on that. The actual blade housing there is parts of an old telescope from the 1900s. We've actually got a lens in there as well, so that's quite good. That's quite nice. Blade adjust here again. And here we go. This little item here. This will vibrate basically when it's low on energy. That's in my head. I didn't worry too much about the straightness of this because obviously a lot of Star Wars props originally were made very unsymmetrical, and I thought that obviously your skills in becoming a Jedi were to obviously make your own lightsaber, but that didn't mean you had the skills to actually be completely artistic and get everything in a straight line, I would imagine. As you can see behind here as well, you've got a very faded Graflex logo there. So yes, that's my very, very brief tour of lightsabers, custom-made lightsabers. I don't know if any more of these have got any lenses in them, if I remember rightly. No, they're all pretty substandard. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for watching. As ever, take care, look after yourselves, and see you soon. Oh dear, that's a bad lightsaber. That needs some work, I think.